is there to say about Elio? Honestly, I'm struggling to think of anything. It unfortunately left that weak of an impression. When I saw the trailer, showing a story about a young boy who wants nothing more than to get abducted by aliens, actually getting his wish, and being mistaken for the ambassador of Earth, I thought it had some promise. There was a lot of imagination and comedic potential in this idea. But it's just sadly not realized in the final product. I guess other people saw this coming a lot more than I did, because I saw a lot of folks online remarking on how unremarkable it looked. And especially dogging on the art style, saying it looked so bland and like a Grubhub ad. At first, I disagreed. I don't think there's anything wrong with a pretty round and safe art style. It worked great in Turning Red. But as I watched the film, then I started seeing an issue with it. It's too safe. They seem to want to go for this weird and wacky tone that makes sense for a space alien story. Elio and some other characters give these big, crazy expressions that should be funny, but they just can't be, because they don't gel well with how cute the overall style is. And these alien designs just feel pretty unoriginal. Like they were kinda creative, but I was really not impressed by a whole lot of them, and I just felt like I'd seen a lot of the ideas here before. Another aspect where they play it too safe, though, is the writing. They try to go for some big ideas and deep emotions, like the fact that Elio is an orphan, and his aunt kind of feeling burdened with having to raise him now. They set up the conflict that this creates between them, but they hardly explore it in any meaningful way. And by the time it gets resolved, I felt nothing. I had some hope for Elio's friendship with this other kid alien, Glorden, being a good emotional story, because there's this moment in the trailer that seemed pretty sweet.
Home, I didn't fit in. I thought Earth was the problem, but what if it's me?
Well, I like you, and you seem fine to me.
But it still really doesn't work, because the message gets so muddied. And just like with the Ant's character arc, they don't really have a clear angle that they're trying to tackle these themes from. We never see Elio even try to make friends on Earth. The only kids we see him meet, he immediately blows them off. So it's not like he's learning much, he just made friends with an alien, like he always wanted. End of story. The emotional arcs in this just don't really have a clear vision. It's like they sanded off any edges that this film could have had. Even with the villains, who on the surface should be scary and intimidating. But thanks to this cute art style and toothless writing, they don't register as much of a threat, and they're not even that funny either. I know Pixar is seen as the wholesome studio, but they've always had a bit of an edge. But I guess after the backlash from Turning Red, it's like they don't want to have anything too adult in this. Like how they cut the best joke from the trailer.
You okay?
I'm trying to get abducted by aliens.
The last problem I found with this is how rushed everything feels. Even though the story isn't saying much, it still moves so fast, just to say nothing. And so you don't really get to know these characters all that well. Especially the aliens, who don't feel anything like real individuals. Just props for Elio's story. And one of the biggest downfalls is that this great big world they created feels so empty. They present us with this great, grand, beautiful place that looks like it should be so fun to explore, kind of akin to The Land of the Dead in Coco. But unlike that film, where you follow them along through it and it feels like a real lived-in place, in this film, we're just rushed through it, and it doesn't feel like a functioning place at all, much less like anyone lives there. It's ironic. The Land of the Dead feels so much more alive than this gathering of all life in the universe. So, I gotta say, Elio, more like Midio.